Good evening. Hello, everybody. Are we ready for this? Hello. Orco is, of course, being a pest. Hi. Yes. Hello, Ray. How you doing? Right. Let's get ready. Let's see if we can finish this game. Hello. You're fighting a foot pump. Oh, bless. Hi, Orco. Ow. Kira's fighting with a foot pump. Ray has got its flowery shorts on. If either of you knew Taekwondo, it'd be a lot easier. Indeed. Right, Orko, you're a pest. I've now got 2 keyboards to deal with. And you're not helping. Right. Get the right mouse. Alright, here we go. I need to do something again. What do I need to do again? So we got to the point. Let's just summarize this. Somewhere is a gold-plated jewel that we need to put into the Falcon so that we can use it to kill Nylon Athotep. That bit is fine. My suspicion is that the Horst has the gold-plated jewel, and we haven't done enough to unlock Horst yet. We need to somehow find out where Nylon Athotep is in the stars, so that then we can use the astrolabe to find him, probably in the mausoleum. That's the shape of it, but the actual things, it's being just fucking obtuse about. So, please, Kira, if you know, let's just kick in with the spoilers. I'd rather get to the end on this stream than get frustrated. So, I need to do something again, apparently. What do I need to do again? Do I need to look at the Falcon in the index cards again? We'll just do this to kill time. Well,
1001 Golden Swords, the complete story of gold swords throughout history, had an entry on the Sortes Falchion. Their illustration was different somehow. I noticed that there was some kind of gold stud in the pommel where the real sword had an indentation. Perhaps there was something missing from the sword, and perhaps that was why Anu had failed to defeat Nylon Athotep.
so nothing new for us there. So what do I need to do again? Go and see Nobby? Shall I just go and look up a solution now? While you're fighting with a foot pump? Uh-oh. And the low latency kernel certainly isn't helping. Never mind. Why have I got a spare hat? I never noticed. Right. Oh, now Kira's like, oh no, wait, I'm lost as well.
I hadn't seen wherever.
Horst isn't there. Rodan, I'm sure, has told us everything we need to know. Why is the Magdalene Bridge still a thing? It's quiet, it's lonesome.
The smell of the Ankh was too strong.
Right. It's one of few places I can turn into a wolf. I don't know what's going on here. Like, Kira says library. Okay. What do I need to be looking up in the library? So look up the gold-plated jewel, because there's not many things that I've got.
None of the books on jewels or antiquities I could find said anything about a gold-plated jewel. I couldn't write off the possibility that there was something in the library that I hadn't managed to find, though. If I knew what it was called, it'd be easier.
So there's lots of things like this. It's like, oh, maybe. But you're missing something, and it won't help us with what we're missing.
Whatever the coin was, I couldn't find anything about it here.
This, the flyer. I've already looked at the Falcon, and the astrolabe. It's just like, oh, you need to do more and cross-reference things. And there's not much left in my stuff. So what am I meant to... What is the library meant to be telling me?
I worked out a translation for the phrase I'd seen on the wall of the sepulchral temple. What they don't know will kill them. Unfortunately, without something to cross-reference with it, I couldn't find out anything else about it.
So...
I suspect...
It's like everything's been solved. Every bit of case except for, you know, the cult. And the only other things left are like...
There didn't seem to be any obvious connection to Carlotta. Two Conkers probably knew all kinds of obscure things. I just had to ask him.
But I've asked Two Conkers about everything as best I could understand.
There didn't seem to be any obvious connection with Horst.
Like, so what are we... nothing's combining.
The coin didn't seem to have much to do with that. I couldn't see a connection to the amulet. Everything that had been going on revolved around this sword.
So what are we trying to combine here? What are we trying to combine?
The triple-lobed eye on the amulet was the mark of Nylon Athatep. Everything that had been... The coin did... What did that have? I couldn't...
Like, what? I don't know. Like, either I'm missing something, or... like, it's something fucking obscure and I'm going to scream. You're too busy with a foot pump. So I'm going to just look things up for myself. Noir. Guide. Game Boomer. Am I going to click on a site called Game Boomers?
DJ?
I don't know what I'm doing. Or meant to be doing. I'm as frustrated with myself as well. No, I'm frustrated with the fucking game. It's there. What's there? What's here? Hi, Kathy. What's here? There's a library. There's the index cards. There's a sky. There's a bunch of things I keep trying to look up, and it's like, oh, you need to cross-reference them. And every time I try and cross-reference things, it goes, yeah, maybe, I don't know. And it's fucking frustrating. How you doing, Kathy? Welcome in. Like, I've not got a lot to be going on here. I have got...
I couldn't see the octagram didn't...
Right, so I've got the inscription, which is something that's like saying, well, I know what it means, but I need to cross-reference it to something. And nothing I have, it wants to cross... I suspected it something... Of course it fucking does.
I couldn't see a connection.
Don't see a connection with that. Don't see a connection with that.
If there was a connection with the...
I don't know what the connection is. Like... It's not... Look it up in the book. Look what's up in the books. I've looked it up in the books. Inscription. I mean, the only other...
I didn't really know how to look that up in the library.
So, and if I put it into the index cards, it goes, oh, I know it means this, but I don't know what else it means.
I worked out a translation for the phrase I'd seen on...
Look up not Nyarlathotep again. What, look up errata again? Why am I looking up errata again when the problem is Nyarlathotep?
The only literature I could find on errata in the library was a leaflet published by Malaclips, who gave his permanent address as the only really holy corner of the Temple of Small Gods.
You just said not Nyarlathotep. And now keep saying Nyland. Where's my button that goes, Kira? I love you, Kira. But Jesus. You're no help either.
Through the Necrotelecomnicon discussed for students to see if I could find any more useful information. It wasn't long before I found the phrase that had been inscribed on the wall of the sepulchral temple. Quod nescient eos interficit. It turned out to be the motto of an ancient cult, the dark sect of Nyarlathotep, whose emblem was the triple-lobed eye. The tome told me a little of the history of the cult. It seems the mad cultists of the Laddering Horror had conspired to destroy all creation, but their attempt failed, obviously, and they were believed to have faded into obscurity. I had a suspicion that's exactly what the cult wanted people to think. According to the book, the cult had a sacred artifact, a source of great power known as the Radiant Trapezohedron, which could destroy Nyarlathotep or give him dominion over all things, if it fell into his tentacles. There was no description of it, although the author seemed to think it was something small. There was something about a cult plotting to destroy all creation that disturbed me. I had a feeling you couldn't reason with people like that.
No, I am going to do more shouting. I'll tell you why I'm going to do more shouting. Because I already fucking looked up Nyarlathotep. And it told me a bunch of stuff that we knew and we'd worked out because we had the fucking amulet and everything else, except for the bit at the end. So no, game. Like, if you're going to tell me to cross-reference something, like, fucking, when I combine Inscription and Nile and Athotep, give me a fucking reward for it. Jesus. Okay. Right, we've got something new in our book anyway. Now we've got to try and fucking work out what that is. Fucking game. Is
I
it...
looked for another reference to the radiant trapezohedron and found it in the Encyclopedia Tennius. Apparently, 400 years ago, the Order of the Sacred Tulip swore to find the trapezohedron
I'm doing a lot of
prevent it
swearing.
from falling into the hands of the dark sect. Legend had it that one knight swore to never rest until he was sure it could never fall into the hands of the dark sect. According to the encyclopedia, he eventually found the trapezohedron and brought it to Ankh-Morpork, where he was buried alongside it.
Okay, so it's in the mausoleum then. But how are we going to find it? Because it's not even giving us a fucking... Because there's nothing else to do in the mausoleum except click on the sky. So... At least someone who vaguely knows anything is up here. Whether there'll be any good help or not is another thing.
It always looked much easier. Have you heard of the radiant trapezohedron?
What is this being?
Well, I don't really know. It's a source of great power. That's the only thing I'm sure about.
What is being a trapezohedron to mean? It's a type of crystal in which all the faces are trapeziums. And a trapezium?
A type of quadrilateral with no parallel sides.
No, that's a trapezoid.
No, a trapezoid has two parallel sides of different lengths.
That's a trapezium.
No, it's not.
Where are your family from anywhere near Genua?
My grandfather was. What's that got to do with anything?
Genuine geometry has slightly different definitions to Ephebian geometry. I tend to go by Legibus's definitions in his geometries. Have you read it?
This trapezodendron. Trapezohedron.
All sides would be consisting of squashed squares. Well, that's a slightly crude summary, but essentially correct.
That's it. That's the jewel I am being seeking. Really?
Much yesness. Just like that is being, but with gold platings.
And you were looking for this, right? How close were you to finding it?
I am of some sureness that it is to being in Ankh-Morpork, and I am of the believing that this arrangement of stars is of great importantude in its discoverage.
Can I see that?
Please, take if you wishing. I am not to be having much chances to look myself now. I would be of delighted nature if you would continue the looking for me.
Huzzah! Right, what was that? Okay, there it is. It's a map. We know where we can go look that up. This game is a lot of nonsense. Oh. The thing is, like, it makes sense, but it's just not like... You know, doing the same thing again, unless you're gonna fucking signpost it. Anyway, right, we've got a map. Let's try out the mosaics first.
I looked at the star map and back to the mosaics. The map seemed to include a constellation All I had to do was find out which one and tell the golem to move the telescope to look at it. Well, it was a plan of sorts.
Oh, right, okay. So we're going to match them, have we? What have we got? It's got a tail and... Is it the small, boring group of faint stars?
I suppose the small, boring group of faint stars might have been on the map. But if they were, they'd been drawn much brighter than they really were.
Okay.
Swing the telescope around to face the small, boring group of faint stars.
Oh, do we now have to... How do we click... Right, okay, so we click out there. And then we look at the telescope.
The stars seem to be pointing at the Salaci Mausoleum. If the map was right, the jewel was somewhere inside.
Oh! Like, we had to find that out to know that... Fine. Right, do we...
I could probably use the astrolabe to navigate with the map, but I'd need to know where I was supposed to be looking first.
Fine. Okay, good. This is working.
I used the astrolabe to see exactly where Two Conquer's map pointed. They seem to be indicating a grotesque in the entrance chamber. I don't know who thought it was tasteful to make carved statues that were part human and part mythical beast, but frankly, I thought they looked awful. I searched the grotesque carefully and concluded that it was a cover stone for something underground. I pushed it, opening up the crypt below.
Oh, I
The
was hoping we'd
stay
get to
layer
use the...
told me that this chamber hadn't been visited in hundreds of years.
I thought we were
In
going to use the
gloom, I
crowbar.
could make out a single sarcophagus.
Alright, here we go.
The sarcophagus didn't look like any recent design. In fact, I was surprised to see one in Ankh-Morpork at all. It must have been imported from somewhere. On the sarcophagus was a circular indentation with a square peg coming out of it.
Aha! Aha! Finally! An item-based thing!
Mundy's coin fitted the indentation perfectly, and with it, I could easily turn the peg. There was a faint click, and the sarcophagus opened. Inside the sarcophagus was a suit of armor, grasping a glowing gem that could only be the radiant tetrahedron. I wasn't expecting the armor to burst into life, though.
Thanks a lot. 400 years I wait for you to come and let me out. And the first thing you do is cut my arm off. It'll take ages to sew back on.
I'm sorry. I just sort of acted reflexively.
So you instinctively cut the arm off people you meet.
If they come bursting out of a coffin, yes.
It's a sarcophagus. A very nice sarcophagus. Donated to the Order by some nice people in Jelly Baby.
And you're vitally impaired.
Vitally impaired? What's that supposed to mean? Hmm? Call a spade a spade. I'm a zombie. Right.
If that's the way you want it, I need that jewel.
I'm sure you do. must answer the riddle and prove your worth.
Oh, God.
The riddle?
Indeed. Are you
God, they dragged this out.
mortal?
Is Nigel playing a pay by the hour?
This is ridiculous. I'm in a real hurry and I need that jewel.
Oh, please. I've been here for 400 years.
I know the feeling.
Please let me ask the riddle.
Make it fast.
All right. What is... Oh, bugger. I've forgotten it.
You've forgotten it?
Well, it has been 400 years. You see how good your memory is after 4 centuries. Especially when you got mice.
Can I have the jewel or not?
No. I have to ask.
Oh, fucking hell.
How else am I going to know if you're a follower of the dark cults?
You're... Oh, God, and I've got to do more fucking talking after all that? Jesus, right, fine.
Let me get this straight. You can tell if I'm a follower of the dark cults by whether or not I can answer a riddle.
Absolutely.
So how does that work, then? Are the forces of darkness incapable of answering riddles?
I'm sure the gods would never allow the unworthy to gain control of this.
Interesting theory. Look, I need that jewel, and you're just going to have to find a way to give it to me.
The Order decided that we'd ask a riddle to determine the worthiness of anyone petitioning for the trapezohedron. I have to ask a riddle.
Ask a fucking riddle then. Jesus.
You mentioned the Order.
Yes. The Order of the Sacred Tulip. You must have heard of us.
Let me guess. You went out on rampaging crusades across other people's nations with some spurious religious purpose, and came back having stolen a fortune from so-called inferior nations, and then started getting involved in ecclesiastical politics on the proceeds,
Those were the days. Yep. You got it in one.
And the Order buried you with the trapezohedron.
That's right. They needed a guardian. And I volunteered.
You volunteered to be buried with the jewel for hundreds of years?
I thought it'd look good on my record.
Can't you just make a riddle up?
Well, there was one specific riddle I was supposed to be asking.
Can we just chop his head off?
But since you can't remember it, you need a new plan. Why not just make one up?
All right. What is... No. Sorry. I can't do it. My mind's a blank. You know what it's like when you're under pressure to perform. You just can't do it.
The city is going to be destroyed because you don't perform well under pressure.
Good,
I don't
great.
believe this.
Look, we've got the sword, for fuck's sake.
Look, I have the golden falchion. Surely that counts for something.
Oh, I knew you had the sword, but that's no help. If you're on the side of darkness and you have the falchion, then I definitely can't give you the jewel.
How did you know I had the sword?
I saw you coming in the jewel.
Really? Did you see anything else?
Oh, I've been watching the progress of the sword since I got here.
In which case, you must have seen Mundy hide the sword in the crate, and me recover it from Vault 51.
Yes, I did.
So, you saw me killed by Anu Anu.
Oh, yeah. That big dog creature. How did you survive that, by the way?
Carlotta had turned me into a werewolf.
I thought it might be something like that. They never give you the whole story with those cliffhanger endings. I remember 200 years ago when I saw someone go off the cliff in a cart. Only it turned out he actually leapt clear at the last minute. I call that cheating.
Anyway, did you see when Anu Anu summoned Nylon Athatep?
Oh, I see. That's what the big cosmic horror was then.
What did you think it was?
Well, I thought it might just have been fog. The reception in here isn't very good.
If you saw all that, you must know that I'm not with the forces of darkness.
Hang on. You were there when this cosmic horror was summoned?
Yes.
Then why didn't you stop it?
I was being restrained. Come on, just give me the jewel.
No can do.
You saw me defeat Satrap, wasn't that enough? Didn't you hear what he said?
No sound with the jewel, I'm afraid. You just get pictures.
Do you know what's most ridiculous about this? If I was with the Dark Sect, I'd just use the sword to kill you, and then just run off with the jewel.
You know, that's a very good point.
So I'll tell you what I'll do. Either give me the jewel freely, or I'll pretend I'm with the Dark Sects and I'll just take it.
You're not leaving me many options.
Jewel, please.
Here you go.
Oh. Hit with an all. God,
Thank you. And may I say, I hope the next 400 years just fly by.
Thank fuck. Right, we've got a jewel. We can combine the jewel.
For an artifact of near unlimited power, the Trapezahedron was surprisingly unimpressive.
You're right, save. Because fucking hell. Please, God, never let me have to talk to that zombie again.
The Trapezahedron fitted into the pommel perfectly, but I wanted to wait until the right moment to do it.
Right, fine, okay.
The golden... I had a feeling...
I do not wish to talk to that
Horst,
zombie. Oh,
I
hello.
was wondering where you had got to.
Then we have been engaged in similar pastimes.
Luton.
Ilsa.
As you can see, I have been forced to take more drastic action. I dislike having to take such radical steps, but since the untimely demise of Mr. Alcali, I no longer have the luxury of observing events from afar.
Let her go, Horst.
Let her go, Mr. Luton? You make it sound as if she is my prisoner. I am merely keeping her well protected against the more hostile elements of this wretched settlement.
Let her go.
That is precisely my intention, Mr. Luton. But first, you must fulfill your agreement with me.
You want the sword.
Indeed, you agreed to bring me the sword, and I'm here to collect.
No deal, Horst. I need the sword to stop Nylonethatep.
Indeed, and what might that be, sir?
It's a creature from the dungeon dimensions, and it's loose in Ankh-Morpork.
That's as maybe. It still doesn't change our agreement. You promised me the sword, sir, and I am here to collect.
If I give you the sword, thousands will die.
Oh, come now. The world is full of people. What are the lives of those insignificant specks compared to our own desires? We, sir, are a breed apart from most people. We see what we want. If a few tiny lights have to be extinguished to achieve our goals...
Can we just murder him now?
But it is of little
Turn into a
consequence.
werewolf
We're
and
not
murder him.
talking about a few lights. We're talking about a few thousand lights. Maybe hundreds of thousands.
Then we will have to learn to live in the dark.
I can't do it, Horst.
Oh dear. I thought you were a man of your word, sir, but it seems I was mistaken. Very well. Then I am forced to take more drastic action. I don't know how much
Sword
pressure
and
it would
head,
take
yes.
from my fingers to suffocate the young lady here. And I'm not entirely sure that I wouldn't apply slightly too much pressure and snap her spine. However, you have forced me to experiment.
Luton.
All right, Horst. You win. Let her go.
Excellent. I thought you were a man of reason, sir, and I was right. I admire a man who is not so stubborn as to throw away what he values just for his stubborn pride.
You've got what you wanted, now let her go! I took Ilsa back to my office. What other choice did I have? I felt so stupid, giving Horst the sword and staying with Ilsa as the troll disappeared into the night's fog. But even if I'd tried to follow him, the dark magenta stench of Nylonethatep drowned out every other scent in the city. There was nothing I could do. After we'd both calmed down, I told her everything that had happened.
So Satrap was looking for Tukonka's jewel.
That jewel is known as the Radiant Trapezohedron, and I think it can save the city, but I have a nasty suspicion that we need this sword as well.
The Radiant Trapezohedron. Yes, it never occurred to me that they would be the same. The descriptions of the trapezohedron are vague at best. Satrap must have been trying to immanentize the Garunan Eschaton.
Can you try that again without sneezing?
The Garunan Eschaton is one of the many myths concerning the end of the Discworld. It's very obscure.
What's it about?
It tells how some of the entities from the dungeon dimensions have been trapped around the Discworld. Some in the lost city of Leshp, some in the heart of the Garuna Trench, some in places men don't even have names for. When the Eschaton occurs, they are supposed to be released from their captivity and destroy everything they can get their tentacles on. The usual thing.
Well, Nylonethatep is loose. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the end of everything. Maybe it's a good time to borrow lots of money.
Luton, I heard you'd been killed. I saw your grave.
I heal quickly.
I left a letter by your graveside.
I know. I saw it.
I wrote it when I had to leave you all those years ago, but I never had the courage to send it to you. I didn't know how to tell you that I was married.
To two conquerors.
Yes, he needs me, Luton. He always did. And in a strange way, I need him too. He gave my life meaning. I had nothing before I met him.
None of that matters anymore.
You never told me how you felt.
What's to tell? I was born when you kissed me, and I died when you left me. I lived a few weeks while you loved me. Of course, I also died when I got stabbed in the back, but you know, that wasn't nearly as painful.
I'm sorry.
I bet you never thought of me as a man who could fall in love.
I never thought about you at all. I couldn't. If I had, it would have driven me mad.
I thought about you every day, until I'd drunk enough to forget. I let my life slide till there was nothing left to live for but bitterness. Well, all that's going to change. I'm going to save this city if I have to die again to do it.
Yes,
I'm not
saving
going to
the
do it
city.
For you, or for me, or for the worthless people who live in it. I'm going to do it to prove for once and for all that I'm not the washed-up loser everyone thinks I am. And if it turns out that I am, Then everything will get destroyed and no one will know about it. So hey, from where I stand, there's no downside.
What are you going to do?
First of all, we have to find Horst.
How?
I have no idea.
Right, okay. Save. There was a lot of dialogue. Fucking dialogue all the time. Right, Jesus. Horst.
Wherever Horst was, he wasn't at his
Oh,
quarters.
of course he wasn't. No, Luton. Luton. I'm trying to click on Luton. I want to turn into a wolf.
Turning into a wolf wasn't something I
Fuck
was
off.
entirely comfortable with yet. I was trying to restrict myself to just when it was really necessary.
Yes, like now, when I need to follow someone who I last saw here. I don't want to talk to the fucking zombie again. So now I've got to find Horst, right? Jesus, Samael, just tell me if you've seen where Horst is. That's all I want to know now. That's all I want to know. Where is Horst? I double clicked.
Do you know a troll by the name of Jasper Horst? Sorry, Mr. Luden, I don't know them.
Right. Fine. Nobby. Come on, Nobby.
Have you heard of a troll called Horst, Nobby?
Oh yeah, he's a treasure hunter, he is.
How come you've heard of him?
Well, Vimes always asks us to keep an eye on him when he's in town.
Is he a lawbreaker then?
Well, he's careful never to get caught doing anything against the law.
Bit like you then.
Yeah, a bit like... No! Now you hang on a minute. I am completely law-abiding.
Yes. You're as innocent as the next man in Ankh-Morpork.
Exactly. Well, if I can pick the next man anyway.
Right, thanks, Nobby. You were no help. But that was at least funny. Oh god, the noises! The noises! Oh, he's not gonna be any good, is he?
Do
He's
you
not.
know a troll by the name of Jasper Horst?
Where do I know that name from?
It wasn't hard to lose patience with Rodan.
Or this
Every
game.
day probably took him by complete surprise. Useful though they are.
Right, he was no good, was he? Great, gotta wander around and find a fucking troll.
Have you had any dealings with a shifty troll named Jasper Horst?
Horst? I know the name, but not the troll it goes with.
Right, okay. Kira has said, "Who saw you coming?" And yes, I've just realised that I still have the trapezohedron.
There didn't seem to be any obvious connection with Horst.
Which...
I peered deeply.
Oh,
into
just
the
double
crevice
click
of the
it,
tunnel,
okay.
and I could see an image of Horst with the golden sword. It looked like he was at the Magdalen Bridge.
Right, there we go. There we go.
I took a few precautions and then headed down to the Magdalen Bridge to check it out. The image in the trapezohedron turned out to be right. Horst was at the Maudlin Bridge, and he wasn't alone. He and our mutual acquaintance seemed to be in some sort of dispute.
What happened to our agreement, Horst? We were supposed to be working together.
Really, madam? Then why was it that you arranged for Monday to sell the sword to you, and you alone?
Just because I didn't trust Al-Khali as a courier didn't mean I broke the agreement.
And I suppose you're going to deny that you were involved in his death?
I couldn't stop his death, but that doesn't mean I caused it.
Doesn't it?
What about you? It was you who set Malachite after me, wasn't it?
I thought you might appreciate being reunited with your estranged brother.
You sent him after me to try and slow me down.
You are the betrayer among us, madam. Don't try and substitute me as the villain of the piece. Yes, I freed Malachite, and yes, I used him to slow down you and Mr. Luton. But you were the one who arranged his death.
I didn't arrange his death. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And you put him there.
I'm not here to debate the details with you, Horst.
Why are you here?
Give me the sword.
After all I've risked to get hold of it? No. As soon as my launch arrives, I will be taking the sword away from this god's-forsaken city. If you want, you can have a small share of the profits. I am not ungrateful for your assistance in this endeavor, but that is all I'm prepared to offer.
Why, you miserable excuse for a troll.
Oh, come now. I could snap your neck like a twig if I wanted to, but I'm not going to, because there's nothing to be gained from doing it.
Listen, Horst. Either give me the sword, or kill me. Because one way or another, I won't allow you to leave town with the sword.
As you wish.
I didn't think of myself as a murderer, but I wasn't about to stand by and watch Horst try to kill Carlotta. It was over in a flash. I don't even know how it happened.
He's better off dead.
Is that all you can say about him?
He was some kind of a troll. What does it matter what you say about trolls?
What now?
We have to get out of the city.
Can't we stop it?
It's too late for that. Right now, Nylonathotep is opening a portal to the dungeon dimensions above the city. When it grows large enough, everything will be destroyed.
I have the trapezohedron. Doesn't that help?
It means Nylonathotep won't be powerful enough to destroy more than just the Circle C. And if we leave now, we can get away before the worst of the destruction.
I'm not leaving the city. It's my home.
Let's
It's not
go,
much of a
destroy the
home, but it's
city.
all I've got.
End it
You've
all.
got me,
I know,
Luton.
Art.
Come with me. I'll renounce the cult, and we can run free in the hills of Ubervold.
It's not that I don't have feelings for you, Carlotta. I do. It's just that I don't trust you. You murdered your own brother. You'd have killed me if I'd got in the way.
So what? So I'm no good. I'm no worse than anybody else. Think about it, Luton. You, me, the wide open spaces of Ubervold. Or you can stay here and die with the rest of the rabble. Don't be a fool, Luton. Join me.
I can't. I'm sorry, Carlotta, but there's only one way this can end.
You're turning me over to the Watch?
I'd like to
Wow.
be able to run away with you, turn my back on the city, and just escape it all. But face it, Carlotta, I'd be dead in a week. Thanks for coming, Nobby.
Hey, what are friends for? Mrs. Carlotta von Uberwald? I'm arresting you for conspiracy, accessory to murder, attempted herbicide, and for being bloody stupid. You don't have to say anything, but if you say not guilty, we're liable to kill ourselves laughing.
Oh, you'll regret this, Luton. Nothing's going to save you now. The only way to stop the destruction of the city would be to take the Falchion into the portal. And I hope you try.
As he left, Vimes fixed me in his eyes, as if to say that this didn't make up for what I did all those years ago. But I didn't care about that. This wasn't about the past. It was about the future. I looked down at the hulking corpse of Jasper Horst in the river mud, and I wondered if I'd done the right thing. But life's too short for regrets, and if I didn't stop Nylonathotep soon, it would be too short for a shot of whiskey, and that wasn't any sort of life I wanted. Somehow, I had to get the Falchion into the portal before it was too late. Time was short. I had to reach that portal somehow. The question was, how?
Right. That was a lot of talk again. Hi Art, how you doing? Good God, this fucking game. Right, how are we gonna get into the portal? What do we got? What do we got? Via the disc? Surely it's via the disc.
The trapezohedron.
No, we're gonna wait until the right moment. Fine, whatever. How are we going to get into a portal? Don't make me go and read things 5 different fucking times in the library. There's nothing happening here, is there? Is it going to be at Mr. Hong's? No, doesn't appear to be. If you were a portal, where would you be? Oh, no, wait. Oh, fucking Chekhov's flying machine. Isn't it? That's what it is. It's Chekhov's flying machine. There's a handy ramp for launch and everything. Because it's opening a portal above Ankh-Morpork. So we're going to have to fly into it.
It always looked much easier.
Look, see, we got this nice ramp.
The contraption that Leonard and 2 Conkers had been working on was my only chance.
Well, it's finished. Now all we have to do is fly it.
And I'm volunteering.
Ah, hello again. You want to be the person in the seat that guides the device?
I'm going to have to be.
We still need somewhere long and flat to launch it from.
I'll see what I can do.
But it's this, isn't it? It's this. We'll clear the rubble out the way.
It didn't take me long to get the roof clear of rubble. I hope there was no one down below when it hit the ground. I've cleared the rubble off the roof. Can we launch this from there?
It might just work.
Give me a hand moving it out there and we'll see what happens.
Flapping wing flying device. Let's go.
Seconds before I could launch, Ilsa came flying down the rooftop.
Wait!
What are you doing here? How did you find me?
Luton, you can see this device from halfway across the city. All you have to do is look up.
Why did you stop me?
You're going to try and stop Nylonathotep in this?
It's all I've got. Carlotta said if I took the sword into the portal, I could stop it.
You can't go up against a creature from the dungeon dimensions without some sort of protection.
Protection? Like what?
I don't know, but you need something.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
Oh, fuck off. Come on! Got an amulet. Is that enough? Right, I can leave. I've got... Can we put... Right, here we go. There we go. Thank fuck it wasn't that hard.
I inscribed the sign of the eel on the side of the flapping wing flying device. I hoped it was enough protection. I was going to need all the help I could get.
Oh, no, we did it.
The symbol I...
Fucking weird ass system for dealing with these things. Not very intuitive. It's been part of what's been
This is
annoying
it,
me.
Ilsa.
Thank you, Ray.
I have my protection. Wish me luck.
This is crazy, Luton. It's suicide.
I know, but I have to do it. I'm the only one who can. Now, wish me luck. I slotted the trapezohedron into the sword and steered the flying machine towards the portal, pedaling as fast as my tired little legs could manage. I kept flying onwards, the sky full of flame and thunder. It was a 1,000,000 to 1 chance that I could land it safely. But on the Discworld, 1,000,000 to 1 chances happen 9 times out of 10.
Slightly
Nice
underwhelming.
landing, Luton.
Who do you think you are? My guardian angel?
I lost my wings a long time ago.
I can see I'm going to have to get used to finding you where I least expect.
Yeah, sounds about right.
My original launch had attracted a lot of attention. I'd saved the city. But that didn't change things with Remora. If I didn't get out of the city, there was no telling what he'd do to me. Two Conkers, get the flapping wing flying device ready. It's going on another flight. Oh, as you are wishing.
Where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere, but you are. The Assassin's Guild still has a contract out on your husband's head, and they won't stop until he's dead.
Let him go. I'll stay here with you.
I can't offer you much of a life, but he can.
I love you, Luton.
Yeah, I know. But love isn't always enough. If you don't get on that flying machine, you'll regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon. And for the rest of your life. Which won't be very long if the Assassin's Guild catches you.
Well, back to Hey Rick.
We'll always have the Hotel Pseudopolis. We didn't for a while. We lost it. But we got it back. And no one can take that away from us. Here's looking at you, Ilsa. Well, it's over. I don't know. It doesn't make much sense to me.
You really loved her, didn't you? Well, don't ask me either. I mean, I'm a species that thinks someone's leg is an object of desire.
Thanks, Gaspard. You know, this could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Don't
Yes.
push your luck, sonny boy.
Oh, and it's over. Oh, oh, fucking effort. Oh, right. Let's talk about this. Hi, Orko. Yes. Sir. See the credits on. Some people worked hard on this. And they were all bastards. So, first Discworld game. You know, bright, colourful, funny, but bastard puzzles, right? Absolute bastard puzzles that made no fucking sense half the time. Sometimes they were signposted, sometimes they weren't. Fucking love custard. Discworld 2. Very early on, lampshaded. Look how fancy the graphics are. There must be less daft puzzles. And the puzzles in Discworld 2 were great. Really nice balance of, oh, we can see the shape of the puzzles, let's put them together. A lot of inventory-based stuff, what have you. This, it's just really fucking annoying. Everything made sense. It's just getting to it was a fucking chore and was not fucking signpost. Like that last thing. That thing that we started off today. Go look up Nile and Athotep again. Like every time I go and look something up, it's this. You get the same thing. So why would I go and look up Nile and Athotep again? If you're telling me I need to cross-reference this, then maybe when we got the notebook and you can cross-reference two things, maybe give me some sort of indication that it seems like the two were together. Maybe if I looked them both up in the library, something like that. Just a little fucking thing like that. Jesus, game. Rick is slightly drunk. And rather like the part of the movie, knowing that line was about two people who had a history and actual chemistry, not you two fuckers. Now, to be fair, Rick is very upset there about the Casablanca ripoff. Don't blame him. I, however, did love the Genesis of the Daleks reference. Far too much interference, Terry. Not enough interference, Terry. Not enough. You could... Anyway, the fact of the matter is, we have finished Discworld Noir. It has taken us 2 years to even get it running. And too long to finish it. But finish it we have. Oh, God. Kira, I'm sorry. Oh, God, you were just there going, "Go after TJ!" And I was just, getting frustrated. And it probably felt like I was taking some of the frustration out on you, Kira, and I'm very sorry for that. Thank you for your help, both obscure and direct. Quit playing. Yes. Let's go to the wonderful Windows XP desktop. Now, what are we going to do until Ray gets in the hot tub? Quotes obligatory. I mean, we could play Free Cell, right? Or we could just listen to the wonderful sounds of that. Okay. Yeah, what are we going to do? Until the hot tub. I mean, we could do like another few minutes of Riven. At least I know what I was doing there. We were in the middle of something. At least that makes sense. Like, I think I'm still not sure which is worse, Discworld or Discworld Noir. Like, Discworld 2, fine. Absolutely fine. Let's put some music on. Discworld 2, great. Like, why is it? Why is it that the games made by authors I really like and respect were the worst? Why was Starship Titanic terrible? Why was Discworld terrible? Why was Discworld Noir terrible? Why is the Famous 5 game much better than any of these? And that's the question. What are we doing next? Are we doing Famous 5 or Nancy Drew next? Because fucking hell. And what? Don't ask what's going on with my hair. Guess it's at least not aggravating. Oh, I don't know, Rick. Again, this game seemed to rely more heavily on the notebook than the inventory-based clues, so it got really annoying when the inventory-based clues were the actual clutch things that you needed to look at, because the game was taking you through the notebook more. You had the mechanism for trying to combine things, but it didn't often reward you for it, and was a bit crap. Perhaps that's what makes the works of Dexter and Terry great, is it doesn't translate well into point-and-click games. Yeah, but the Discworld 2 was good. The problem is the game designers And I know with Starship Titanic they were trying something different because they were trying the text engine, right? You know, that you could talk to the stuff. But again, it's still a case of like, put the parrot in the fucking succubus. You won't suck. I suck. Yeah, right. We're just gonna let's get chill. Let's get chill because we're done. We're done with that for a moment. I'm gonna put the keyboard over there. Bring my keyboard in front. You can edit things in YouTube. YouTube give you an editor. I was gonna say, if we break into another game, it'll ruin things for YouTube, but it won't because I can trim things. So let's bring this one back.